Developers here will probably know about Inchu blog. So we were one of the first that was sharing the knowledge, because at the beginning, 2008, no one knew anything, how to fix this, how to fix it. There was no right documentation. So we started doing it, and we were very good at the knowledge sharing. But today, we had issues like developers in our company fixing the same bug all over again, because we didn't share within ourselves that we can, that we can, this fix that we have, that we can apply to our company, that also we can provide this fix for the community. That knowledge sharing is not a bad thing. You should share your knowledge, and in return, you will receive much more. Also, complexity and uncertainty of Magento 2. We need to take it very seriously. It's a complex platform, it's a much more heavier platform, and we cannot approach Magento 2 as we used to approach to Magento 1. It's different. And since this is in my personal experience, I still believe that Magento 2 is pretty much young platform. So open and honest conversation with the client upon a launch of the project is very much important. We realize that we need to aware them that when we launch the project, next 2 weeks will be hell for both us and for both them. So we need to make sure that he understands that he's not too pushy, that the analytics will be down, especially with the redesign. So we need to give a space to customers to adapt new design. So we need to all be calm, and that there will be many bugs in our way, but we are here to do it together. We will fix everything, and after 2-3 weeks, everything will be forgotten and the statistics will go up. And this is something very important, that when we started to talk with the clients in that way, everything was much easier, and they were prepared for the worst. So sometimes there were situations that were very much easier to handle. And also, honesty over anything. You should always be honest with the developer, with the client, with everyone that you work. You can wrap it up in a nice paper, but be honest, never lie. And it's not good for the project, and it's not good for the business as well. And the last thing, since we all know Magento 1 too well, we were pretty much lazy in testing, I would say, because we could predict everything. With Magento 2, you cannot predict anything. So testing. This is something that we will learn hard way. So now, I want to talk about project manager skills that are needed to manage Magento projects. It can be Magento 2, it can be Magento, but it can be any project, because they are applicable to anything. First, I want to say that any skill that I will mention, it can be something that you are born with, but if you don't have this skill, it's still okay, because you can learn it. You can teach yourself how to be good at something. You can teach yourself to be better. And the best thing to teach yourself and to build your skills is actually to work on the hard project, to work with the hard teams, to work with the complex big projects. And when it's the hard situation, you are learning the most. So this is something that I really think is important to tell. And this is my personal list. You may or may not agree with this, but this is something that I feel are essential points, and later on you can add some of your points that you feel that I missed and you feel that are also essential. So first, because I was a sales assistant or sales manager, I do feel that skill to sell and negotiate the project is essential to have for a project manager. I say it like this because as a project manager, I know what my client wants. I talk with my clients every day, several times a day, so I know where he's struggling, I know his problems. Also, I know what are the ability of my team. Also, I know if the client can pay for the new features and things like that, but also I know if my company, because I work in the company, has a space for the new project. So you actually are the best person to upsell. If you see that your client doing manually everything in a ERP, so you can offer him, okay, let's connect with Magento. It's a small, but it's a nice project. If you see that this client doesn't have very nice design and you see how you can improve it, this is something that you can offer. So I really feel, and it, for me as a project manager, is the easiest actually to upsell the project. And I don't mean in any bad way. I really mean it in the best way, meaning, okay, you know what your client needs, so you can help him, and you can help your company, and you can help your developers, and everyone actually can be happy in this situation. Be a people person. This is essential, and I would say that this skill is something that you should be born with. It's very hard to learn how to manage the people, but if you have a potential of this skill, you can still manage. Personally, I feel like I'm not a people person. I do know how to talk with people. I'm nice and this, but sometimes, you know, I get lost if I'm around lots of mad people and things like that. And this is the way I'm learning still. But if you're a people person, if you know how to talk with people, if you know how to deal with people, even being bad, being good, being whatever, you can do anything. So, essential thing when it comes to any project you lead, because even if someone is mad at you, if you can, you know, touch him in a way, you will be still able to receive the positive response from that person. Yes. So sometimes when you lead projects, and we have in our company projects that are very big, when we have all kinds of teams involved. So we have a design team that is working with the front-end developers, that is working with the back-end developer, and then there is a digital marketing team that is advising. Sometimes it can be very hard because everyone wants to deliver the best, but sometimes they forget that they play for the same team. And sometimes they will come to me and they will talk to me, okay, but he said to me this, then the other day he said to me this, and I was designing this, but that was not correct, so I need to change everything because he's changing his opinion. And in this situation, I feel you should listen. You should listen to them because that way they will let it go. And after that, if you can have some advice, if you can help them because you are managing this project, you can, okay, let me talk to him, I will fix it. But at the end, sometimes it's just enough to listen to them so they can let it go and they can move on. But you will be in the situations like this most of the times because people forget that we all here to work, to launch the project, not to talk about who hurt each feelings. As a project manager, of course, you need to have ability to lead a team. I believe that in every situation you should show respect to the team members. You should tell them when they did an amazing job. And also, if you can improve the working conditions, you should do that. In example, that if you can manage for them to work on a dedicated team or to receive the bonuses or something like that, this is something that you will gain the trust from the team members, and I think it's very important. But also, if you improve their working conditions, you have any right to request for the quality, and you should request for the quality. You cannot accept the bad code quality or the bad results. You should always request for the quality. And this is sometimes that it's very hard, especially also for me, but you need to say when things isn't right. Even if this will hurt the feelings, you should always say, okay, but this is what you did. You are a great developer, but this is really shitty what you developed. And sometimes they actually need that. And the more, they will be angry in the beginning, but at the end, they will appreciate you even more because you are being honest with them. Be the fast decision maker. This is something that my boss Tomislav teach me very early on, because in the beginning I was so scared, and he was like, okay, Antonija, you need to make a decision. Be fast, make a decision. So I really learned how to make decision, and I'm not afraid to make a decision. Maybe if I make a bad decision, this is still experience. So nothing bad will happen. And project manager is a decision maker on the project. It's like this in Chu. Most of the times you are the one that collects information and make a decision. Sometimes, normally, you will not have all the information, so you will make a bad decision. It's okay. You will learn. You will learn where you failed. So next time you will make a good decision. So there is no bad thing. Wrong decision is a valuable experience. A good decision is a super good decision. So, and don't be afraid to deal with the hard decisions, with the decisions when you need to communicating something that is not comfortable. This is where you learn the most. Ability to adapt to constant changes in agencies. I feel like everyone that works in agencies, they know that there is no day that is the same in the company. And I think we should not be afraid of the change. We should always try to adapt it, because change is the only constant thing in a life. So the change is good. And I think that changes in the company that are happening, you can use it in your favor, because if you don't use it in your favor, someone else will take advantage of it. So don't be afraid of changes in the company. If something is changing, if the new CEO is coming to company, or there is organizational changes that some department will not exist, okay. Everything is good. You see how you can help, or how you can use it in your favor. Be organized and be on time. This is essential. This is essential thing, and this is something that you have people that are, I would say, that are either organized or they are really, really not organized. This is something that can be learned. This is essential for the project, and if you're not that good in it, okay, it's still good. You need to improve it as much as possible, and you need to follow some rules. You have plenty of rules on the internet, and then you can yourself see what you are doing wrong. But being organized and being on time whenever you can, you will fail. You will fail sometimes. It's okay. But this is something that is essential for the project, that is essential for the team, that is essential for the company. And this is something that even if you are terrible in organization, you still can learn. And at the end, I feel that nothing matters if you aren't passionate about what you do. And I talked today about many skills. Some of them you said, okay, I got this. Some of them you said, okay, I'm not good at this. Does it mean that I'm not a good project manager or something? Not at all. This is the most important thing. If you are failing on every point that I said, and you are so passionate, you will find your way to be the best project manager ever. Because passion is what drives you. Passion is what drives you to be better, to learn more, and everything you can learn. So no matter who you are, no matter what skills you have, and how you deal with the project, because probably we all deal with that in a different way. Be passionate about what you do, and everything, every skill, every situation will fall into the right place. This is the most truthful thing that I can say today. And if you're really passionate, and if you really want it, and you have a will, you will find your way. And this is the last thing that I wanted to tell you. Are there any questions? Yeah, please ask. Magento 2 or Magento 1? From Magento 1 from Magento 2 migration. I think, depending how you'll force your team, but I think if you will build in how complex the project is as well, how many integrations you have. But if you say some middle projects, I don't think that you should I think something like 6 months is reasonable. And if someone say, no, we can do it in 3 months, okay, it's you need time to analyze everything. You need the time to develop, and you also need the pretty big time to test it and expect things to change and things like that. So minimum, I would say 6 months for the healthy Magento 2 middle-sized project. Do you agree? Yeah. Are you work on an agency, or you are?
We're an online retailer. I put anywhere from 3 to 12 months, 6 is very good.
Yeah. Okay. So 6 months minimum, but it's more complex. Then it takes it can take it can take 1 year as well. Yes. What is the number of that one project manager manages? I think it depends on the size. In our company, since we introduced project managers pretty recently, each project manager manages too much project. But I would say for healthy project managers, if he deals with the 3 projects, that's enough. If he has a big client, then two clients is a maximum, because this person needs to be committed to the projects, also needs to have time to think about what else we can do about the project and things like that. So I would say the optimal would be 3 or 2, depending on the size of the client. 7, too much. Yes? That's a very good question, because this is very discutable, you know, in each company, and it's very hard to, okay, this project manager is talking with the team, he's talking with the client, he is testing here and there, he is doing, for example, inside Magento, not coding and things like that. But it's very hard to, you know, to build ours. So, for example, how we do it, we build it to the client, but we have this, I would say, good luck that our clients really see the benefits. So if the clients see the benefits and your effort that you're doing, that you are talking with him, that you are arranging everything, he will not be mad seeing the hours built. But you can't build all hours that you work. So I would say something like 60% of your work can be built, 40% of your work cannot be built. But at the same time, if you deliver the project, you should receive the value in it, so it should be calculated something different. And if you upsell the project, this is also your benefit and things like that. But you cannot build if you're not a developer, it's very hard to build all of your hours. Yes.
Question: what percentage of your project budgets do you allocate to PM?
Okay, so this is also something that is. That differs from the project to the project, and there are some statistics that they say 10 to 20% for the project manager and something like 20% also for the quality assurance, but it's not always the same. If the project needs a real leader, and if the project manager really understands all the requirements, sometimes it can be even 40%. But in our company, it's something like 10 to 20% of the project managers, and I would say the same amount of quality assurance. But this is something that we need to improve in our company, because we don't have, for example, quality assurance team. So our developers are testers, I'm as a project manager is a tester, the client is a tester, and this is not a good approach. So we need to have a dedicated team that will do the testing. This is how we will improve more. Yes? Okay, to upgrade? To what?
From the 2.2x to 2.3.
Okay, I think you should, so upgrades in Magento 2 are pretty much harder than upgrades on Magento 1. And it takes much more hours. But I would say that upgrading, even if it will be a little bit bigger amount of the work, it's essential, because of all the patches that is actually deals with the security and things like that. So upgrading, this is something that I honestly always recommend. Maybe it doesn't need to be right away, because even if it's a beta version or something like that, let it go for a month or something, but essentially always upgrade. And sometimes these upgrades in Magento 2 really can, break the extensions, and if the site has many customization, it's not a small project, but it's important to upgrade, because many bugs are fixed there, and especially when it comes to security and things like that. More questions? Yes. Well, there are people, project managers that doesn't need to have a technical background. Someone said, but in my personal opinion, I feel like the more you know, it's better for you, because we are all the people, and sometimes developers will. It's in human beings that will try to trick you. So more you know, no, they will say, oh, this is a very hard, this is very complex feature, but it's not, you know, and you need to tell him, no, it's not complex. Let's see how we can do it. So the more you know the technical background, the more you know how something is coded, it's better for you, and they cannot trick you. So they will be honest with you. So.
Thank you, Antonija.
Oh, one last question. Yes.
As a project manager, how do you overcome challenges estimating hours for tasks from the other team that you've never worked with before? Developers have done this sort of thing before, Magento specifically. So how do you overcome the struggles of estimating hours for things that have never been done?
Okay, so we don't do fixed price, so we do always estimation. So we said, okay, this is optimistic. This is, for example, what we expect, and this is the pessimistic. And this is how we do it. But also, you need to be honest with the client. You said, okay, we never done this before. It may be that we will give you a lower estimate. Let's discuss it when it comes. If it's a little bit lower, we will take the responsibility. But if it's becomes something very, very bigger, then let's split the cost, you know, because this is the way also our developers are learning. So you cannot tell them to pay everything. But I think find the common ground between this situation is to communicate with them, to tell them the struggle that no one did it before, and that what we are doing right now might be a little bit difficult. And believe me, when you communicate like this to them, they understand. Yeah. So thank you, everyone. If you have more questions, you can find me on Twitter or here. And it was very nice to talk.
Thank you.